It's almost a year ago now. I was going through a very challenging time, and I was wandering around Byron Bay one Saturday evening. I ran into a couple who had a little table set up, and they were giving out little New Testament Bibles and the Great Controversy book. I wasn't looking for God, any kind of relationship with God. Had deliberately avoided Christianity and religion because I'd put it all into the same basket. Didn't feel comfortable with the image of God that was presented to me at school. My picture of God was not of a loving God. We started having a conversation around this, and the woman who was at the table had also been brought up Catholic, and they suggested me reading The Great Controversy. I read that before I started reading scripture, and then suddenly when I picked up the Bible, it had a whole different meaning. I felt like I understood it with new eyes, and I could see the value in it from that point on. I got a deeper understanding of who God really is and how God works in our lives. I couldn't put it down. It was every day I was wanting to spend as much time reading the Bible as I could. However, I also still had this pushback against the idea of joining a church. One day I decided to go into Manor Cafe. I wanted to go somewhere for lunch. I was a little bit interested in meeting some people there because I was now starting to fall in love with the scriptures and felt like I needed people that I could share it with. We chatted for a little while, and I discussed the journey that I'd been on. We were having a chat about all of this, and they suggested me coming to a service. We left the cafe, but I didn't come to the service on that Sabbath or for a little while. It was actually my son who came to me and said that he would like to go to a church. Probably a couple of weeks later we went, and a group of wonderful people there. We started attending church regularly and getting into Bible study with Joel, the pastor, and Ethan, my son, with Enzo. And a few of the other Bible workers as well would get involved, and it just helped the two of us really to gain a greater understanding and knowledge of the scriptures. For me, it was a step that I wanted to take to make a public declaration to God that I was choosing Jesus. And it felt like that was the natural next step. There was one sermon, my son and I both sort of looked at each other, and he actually said to me, "I want to get baptized." And I said, "Yeah, me too." Especially for my son, that those Bible workers were actually a key part of him choosing to be baptized, spending a lot of time with and learning about scripture, but also being social with. To have my son join me on the journey was probably the greatest part of it for me, because it inspired me to continue to get closer to God, because I could see the work that it was doing with my son. And now I have this totally new version of God that I just want to spend my time with, that I want to dedicate my life to. It's been a transformation from where I was to where I am now.